Hello, Sinistello. Hey, Laxon. Welcome in. All right, let's update the today command. Adam wants to flesh out the farming games some more this afternoon. This is all for SIABT. Yeah, the overall goal is still to get the first checkpoint done by the end of April, if possible. Okie dokes. So, if we were to just go into the farming game right now. Thanks, Chili. Welcome back to you too. So yeah, there's some dialogue here. This is all stuff that we actually do need to have. But then we've got just this in terms of the farming game. There is the shovel, there is planting, and there is watering. And we'll eventually make this look a lot nicer. Post volunteering streamers back online. Hey again, Galaxy Inferno. Hope you had a good volunteer day. So we need the tutorial guy to come talk to you. Right now there's just a dialogue, but he's not actually there. And we need to show you enough of the world still. I guess we need to think about that too. So we should probably add the camera soon. Make sure the camera is focused on the characters that you were supposed to see. Oh, you know what I wonder about? What if instead of zooming the camera to 0.5, we always zoomed it in the first game? 2-hour session of hyperparameter tuning and overfitting dangers, and it went pretty well. So yeah, nice. Nice. How lovely. We should look at the opening here. You wake up in the farming game, you leave your house, the farm is covered in, oh no, that's later. Yeah, here it is. Okay. When it fades back in the middle of the farming game, your character looks down at themselves. It says, what in the... Hey, Reformulate, thanks for the resub. Good evening. Happy 33 months. You've got a... Oh, never mind. I was going to say you have a cake next to your name, but that's always next to your name. Okay, so do we have this in the game right now? The hello and welcome to Moondrop Village. Yeah. Yeah, I like this idea of having the camera look at your character. We had some dialogue show up for the architect as well. All right, how about we just go add in a camera before I before I continue. All right, so add child camera 2D. And this is focused over there at first. Let's focus it on your house probably. Or you. Or just not do any of that and have the script do it. Private camera 2D camera. Null. Ready. Let's go get this. It's actually 2D. And then focus it on the player. I forgot how you do this. Player dot position minus get viewport dot size divided by 2. Yeah, so now I should be able to put the camera wherever. So for example, I put it like way up there and just hit play. It should just still focus on the player. It did not. What happened? Huh. I don't think it said it didn't build, right? No, it's not that. Where do I do this in the architect's office? Because there's some camera movement code here, right? No, I guess the platforming game does it. Plus viewport rec.size divided by 2. That was a problem. Hey, Mr. Who Cares? And hey, Leap Your Girl. Looking for a bit. Hope it's all going well. Still very impressed how focused you are. Mm. Yeah, I think we talked about that it's exacerbated by stress, right? And I think you said that there's been a lot going on in your life lately. I hope it's starting to look up. But yeah, I am trying to stay focused. All right. So the camera's over there. Oh, the camera's always centered. What am I doing? I guess we don't need to do this. Why did I even do that over here? Because it was at the upper left? I should probably write a comment about that. The office's positions. The office is anchored to its upper left. Wait a sec, though. I see. So to center on the player, we need to offset by the viewport size. All right, so this is not needed. So now we're good. The camera should be centered on the player. A lot of back and forth. Yeah, so it's presumably like right there under the dialogue, and there's just no way to speed this up right now. Yeah. So you're in the center of the screen. It's pretty good. So as you move around, we should keep the camera on you. Let's just stop the dialogue runner from running automatically. It's very annoying anyway. We just won't auto start it. So now the camera moving around, we want it to follow you automatically. And there's some way to do this stuff. There's position smoothing. We have a speed here that we could set. I thought you could have like an offset maybe. There's drag offset. What is this stuff? The camera only moves when reaching the horizontal drag margins. Yeah, so we might turn these on and then what's this? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Let's just see what that does. So now in the farming game, I think we need a process that's going to set this on your character. And I think we did this for the... Yeah, we did this here. All right. So farming game, same thing. Let's put a process here and do that. So now I should be able to walk around freely and the camera should follow me, but there should be some amount of like stickiness to the camera. No, there is no. Well, yes, there is. Yeah, so I move far enough to the side, it will scroll. I don't know if this behavior is good behavior. I don't think it is. Yeah. So there's like a box you can move around in and the camera doesn't do anything. And then when you hit the edge of that box, it will start to move. Yeah, I don't like that. Hey, Sound of Gaming. Any estimate on how long you think this game will take in comparison to Skelisar? To make or to play? Because to make is probably going to be about the same amount of time. To play, it might actually be shorter than Skelisar. I'm not sure. But this will become more apparent to us as we start to like settle on some just paradigms here, really. Like how long is each game? How much do we put into each game? That sort of thing. Not allowed to take login details home for the website. Yeah. Yeah. It sounds like a lot of these people benefit greatly from this service for, lack of maybe more basic information. Are you much of a music enjoyer? Never really asked that question before. I like music, of course, but I don't listen all the time, partially because when I'm streaming, I don't listen. But yeah, I listen to classical music and video game music mostly. Hey, Franken. Yeah, so this is working. I think it's just that the world is so empty that this looks weird to me. And maybe also because we were looking at it in like a quarter the size of the screen. Like this looks a little bit better. But everything's still kind of tiny. I mean, we could zoom in even more with the camera. I should probably have like a shadow for the character or something. Has it been finished for now? It's like kind of close enough, I think. We have a couple other things I want to do. In fact, actually, I probably should have finished those up because I'm on a different branch right now. And this branch doesn't have to do with dialogue stuff anymore. So I'm not sure if this is a bad idea. Yeah. Probably just finish the dialogue stuff for now so that I can merge my branch. Yeah, it was pretty quick. I mean, everything I've been doing has been pretty quick because I'm not really putting a lot of polish into it yet. Yeah, yeah. The not being in charge thing, I think this is part of the reason why I like making games sometimes. Like, if I want to make a different creative decision, I just make a different creative decision and we can move on. By the way, this usage will reset sometime soon. When is it? 45 minutes. Yeah, so then I'll be able to use this again. Also, it is currently Wednesday and we're at 30% usage. So work weeks are kind of weird because they're 5/7 of a week, but like my work week is not really all that standard. And I'm not at like 60%. So the weekly limit is not really all that limiting right now. But yeah, the 5 hour limit is crazy limiting. It's too limiting. If I could just get more of the weekly limit and turn it into like a 3 hour limit or something, it'd be better. I know you can't negotiate with them, but it'd be nice if I could do that. All right, so the camera pans around. We need some kind of world beyond that. Oh, I gotta write this for dark at some point. Let me write this down. Come up with some instructions for dark for the worlds. Farm. We need enough, like, or we could just stop the camera from moving. Yeah, so farm. Oh, I don't know. Note, I need to upload the asset pack somewhere. If it's not going to be in the code base, I should probably give instructions on where to put the assets themselves. All right, so anyway, we added the camera. I mean, that's that for now. So let's go check that in. Oh, I didn't check in what we had from earlier. I got to do that at some point. This technically wasn't needed. All right, I was going to file a bug. Oh my God. I forgot all of this. Fine. Yeah, fine. You know, so much of game dev, I think, is just putting in some time and doing this stuff. There's like a billion tasks at any given point, and you just have to tackle the, 10 for today or the 100 for this week or something. As the camera's in the middle of nowhere, this is okay. This probably shouldn't be here. Or I just check this stuff in. Yeah, let's just check that in. So I want this. I want this. Auto start off. What else do we have here? What am I missing? Is this the palette marker? Yep, that is. Yep, both of these things. I want both of those. We want that. We want that. We don't want the camera right now. Okay, so that's everything. We don't want to check this in either. This should be pointless. And everything else looks good. Yeah, so this allows us to use italics. Add a, what's it called? It's at the top somewhere. A palette marker processor. This allows us to use for italics. We don't need the HTML thing. I'm going to probably delete that at some point. Then this is just add a comment. Add clarifying comment. And then this, we should really go file a bug. All right. Okay, let's go do it. Issue. New issue. Basic marker. Actually, neither marker can be used by default, right? Like if I just go make a new scene. No, wait. How does this work? How does this work? I double click this. We have a basic marker there right now. I'd have to make a new project, I think. Yeah, I have to make a new project for that. All right, let's do that. I mean, if we're going to use this library, I might as well help improve it. And I think this is a good issue to start with. Let's create a new thing here. Go to Godot. I've got a repros folder now somewhere. So it'd be basic marker repro. No git create. Sounds good. Okay, so we gotta go set everything up. I don't want to do this. Create a C# solution. Go over to that folder, repros, basic marker. Open the project file. And then add in the import. Where is it? Here it is. Oogly. Oh man, yeah, that's too bad. Put this down here. Okay, now we got to go incorporate that. So we go into temp yarn spinner, open, and go find the repros folder, and then add this in. Okay, now we rebuild, and then enable the plugin, and we should be good. So this is all just the setup, which is why I didn't want to do this stuff, because how tedious this is. Okay, now we do these other steps. So let's go start the issue. Basic marker cannot be used without instructions, or this isn't, I don't know how to say this. Yeah, there's markup palette without another script present. Okay, so while trying to follow these instructions, I ran into this issue. So how do we do this? We go make a new yarn spinner, markup palette. Okay, and I just call this, I don't know, palette or something. It doesn't matter what the name is. I just double click this, and yeah, we can't do anything here. We can't add these. Use to build an app to review my Goodreads read history. Look for books I've not yet read. Nice. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, I'm glad to hear it. It's really good. Basic marker does not show up here. So there's a picture, but actually the problem is much more obvious than that, right? In output, it just says cannot get class basic marker. Why can't I copy this? There we go. The problem is that, let's go get this plugin. Add, there's some like add class, right? Yeah. Here it is. Problem is that the plugin does not, I guess it's more like this, right? Yarn spinner plugin.cs. Yarn spinner plugin.cs doesn't add basic marker, or what's the other one called? Custom marker, I think. Custom marker, yeah. As custom types. It would do that here. So you need to add in a palette thing. How do we do this? We search for palette. And now all of a sudden it works. No, you need to reload. Save it as a scene. I think you need to like reload the scene. How does this make sense? This doesn't make sense. Maybe you need to just build? No, something's still weird about this. What if I reload the whole thing? There it is. Yeah. The workaround is not clear through the documentation. So assign the whatever this script is. How do we get this quickly? I don't know how to get this quickly. Oh, I know how. Like this. Copy absolute path. Yeah. Assign to any node in the scene. Save the scene, reload the entire project. At this point, you'd be able to you can see basic marker here. Oops, wrong button. Basic marker now shows up. You can now see basic marker when editing your palette. All right, is this clear? We'll try to follow these instructions I ran in this issue. Problem is that this doesn't add basic marker or custom markers, custom types. The workaround is not clear through the documentation. Yeah. Wiggy, hey. Thanks for the resub. Happy 30 months. I haven't seen you in a little while. How have you been doing? How has your 2026 been? At that point, you now see this one updating. Yeah. So the documentation does mention doing this, but just not in that order. Yeah. The documentation does mention, but it does so in like the final section of it, right? In the final header, which is after it shows the UI for basic marker, which is inaccessible due to this bug. Yeah. The repro is simply to set up yarn spinner, make a, whatever that thing is called, make a markup palette, and then edit the palette. Your scene hierarchy. Need any scenes in the project? There's. Okay, there. All good, very busy. How about you? Yeah, pretty much the same. I've been good. I've been busy. I've been working on a new game. I don't know if you've seen the new document about it, but it's been fun. And I'm kind of blinding myself to how much work might be involved in this project. But all I'm focused on right now is getting to checkpoint number 1 and seeing, do people even like the first, 5-10 minutes of this idea? And if they do like it, I think it's worth pursuing the whole idea and then doing playtesting all along the way. I don't know what a demo for this game would look like. I don't know what the trailer for this game would look like. I almost don't want to have a trailer. I almost don't want to have even screenshots. I know no one would buy the game in that case. But I kind of wanted to say, like, look, here are some raw ideas that if they resonate with you, you'll probably like this game. Hey, Phil. Do you have any other game ideas banked, or is this the current idea? I have some other ideas, but nothing I want to tackle as much as this one. And a lot of the ideas I had banked kind of play into this. So, okay, here's an idea that I had. I have a bunch of notes. I have something called story ideas. I have something called game ideas. And one of the story ideas was, there are a lot of Zelda games where there are these temples or dungeons, and inside them is a perpetual motion machine, which is impossible in the real world. But imagine if you were in the real world and you found some like Zelda dungeon, right? It looks like super fantastical or something. It's I don't know, something like this, where you go in and you see like creatures you've never seen and architecture you've never seen. And then let's say this like hand thing is just like spinning around constantly. But instead of solving the obvious puzzles laid out, you were like, what if we harness this for infinite energy? Like we can just hook up some, whatever, a generator or something to the hand, and we can power our entire city forever. That idea would probably make for a good short story. Probably wouldn't make for a good novel. And I don't know where I'd use it as a result of that. But this game could be where I use that idea. Like, oh, hey, you go into a game and it's a Zelda style game and there's like adventure music playing, and you get into this dungeon and it turns out the city that you need to save, you could save just by like hooking up some wires and stuff to the puzzles. I don't know. I like that sort of thing. So yeah, I don't have a lot of other fleshed out game ideas, but I've got a lot of small ideas that I could start to put toward this thing. And as I was kind of mentioning earlier, we'll see how that slots in as we get farther along. Because maybe it turns out that this is kind of on rails or it takes a different direction. All right, so we filed a bug on that. And then their markup sample not working. So they have a sample in here somewhere. And I think we can just load this. But I probably need to get the repo again. Do I have any changes to this? Yeah, I have a ton of changes. Yeah, exactly, Oogly. Yeah, and I really like that idea. Well, like I said, if I were to write it as a story, it'd probably be like 10 pages. Or maybe 20 or 30 or something. But I probably couldn't make a whole book based on it. There has to be some conflict based on, yeah, some aliens coming back and then realizing, wait, this is what you used it for? That's not what it was supposed to be used for. You get sent back to the Dark Ages. Then you solve the puzzle and get, a heart container. I don't know. All right, so I think we got to just reset everything in here. Or just go clone the repo again. Do I have a delete me folder? I do. Okay, let's go clone this again. This is work that I think will help people, but that I am not particularly interested in doing right now. All right, now we go back to the project list. Oops. I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, whoops. Okay, well, whatever. Now we go find that project, import temp, delete me here, this one. And I think you just can't use this. Unable to load add-on script from path. Maybe due to a code error in that script. Disabling the add-on to prevent further errors. Did I change this? Yarn spinner plugin. Yarn spinner plug. No, I didn't. Why is this failing? I just cloned, so it's possible there was a change within the last day. 2 months ago. Wait, but is that the branch I'm on? Git yarn spinner git branch. Yeah, develop. Thought there was slightly more active development here. So this just doesn't even work. But how did I do this last time then? Because I found some way to work around this. Well, let's copy this. So it's not enabled. Oh, right. You got to build it first, I think. I think that's a problem. Starting world is already harnessing it all its power. Yeah, I see what you're talking about. I was actually thinking that conflict 1 would be like, I don't know what to say, like more advanced almost, that you would encounter this dungeon and not realize that you could harness it for power. You see these puzzles and you want to solve the puzzles, but then you like stop and think about it. And then you're doing this in secret, and then your civilization discovers it maybe. And then you get to the rest of the conflicts. Maybe there's someone else who's trying to solve the puzzles. They're like, this isn't what was intended. Yeah, I guess you could build it out. All right, so now we can go enable this again. Yeah, now it works. But if you try running the project, it's not going to work. Click markup. Oh, it does work. What? I did this the other day and it didn't work. What? What changed? Does this work? This works too. Wow. Wow. How is that even possible? What did I do differently? Yeah, those are the sample projects. This was updated 2 months ago. But I pulled this yesterday and I tried the exact same stuff I did today, right? And it didn't work. Huh. Okay, I guess we just don't file a bug on this. Yeah. The only one smart enough to solve it while everyone else harnesses it. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, it is, I think it's a neat idea. I'd like to put something like that in this game. I want to make certain that like I could still build on this game more afterward. I don't want to paint myself into a corner. So we'll need to go back to like a game design week at some point and talk about, yeah, how do we open ourselves up to a sequel? And do we have enough? Maybe I should even write that down. Questions after checkpoint. Pacing, cost, story, impact. Yeah. So is there enough room for a sequel or DLC? I definitely want to be able to continue this series, this game slash series. So if I don't think we have room for it, I think we would expand this game. So what do we got right now? We got the camera. I guess we're done with that. We don't need this. This is the whole reason why I didn't set this up yet. You hook up a generator to the puzzle and say thanks and leave. Yeah, and then maybe you can come back to that world and kind of see it get built out somehow. I'm not sure. But yeah, I'd like to do something like that. I just think they're cool ideas. You know, they say ideas are a dime a dozen, but I think it all depends on what kind of idea, and I think the execution matters quite a lot. And you can't really just have an idea and then just execute on it. You kind of need to intertwine them a little bit. Like, oh, you execute for a little bit and then you realize like, oh, the idea needs to change slightly. So yeah, at some point we'll be starved for ideas. Right now we are trying to execute on what we already have. Add camera to the farming game. Oh, right. This is supposed to all happen afterward. Yeah, let's just leave it like that for now. Fine. Not going to get super crazy about this. All right, figure out how we add custom text effects. There's a custom markup thing. I guess we could just look at basic marker and figure out how that works, right? How does this work? What is this? What uses this? It's probably just some like find replace sort of thing, right? Yeah, it is. So there's got to be a way to add custom ones of these. Custom marker. Here it is. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we have an issue with this. I'm going to delete this. Yeah, I generally agree with that. Yeah. Yeah, and that's why I know this is obvious to a lot of people, especially software engineers, but it's like the cheaper the iterating medium, the easier it is to change your plan. So like design is much easier to change than implementation. And before even that, you just got like an idea or you're talking about the idea or something. And your idea can kind of be the same as the design. So it's like the earlier on you change stuff, the more time you're saving yourself. And that's why I want to make sure at no point are we painting ourselves into a corner here. Because if we have a structure, let's say Stuck in a Broken Tutorial is going to be like 1,000 sub games, which I don't plan on doing. But once we have like 10 of these, we could be like, all right, well, now we just need 990 more, right? We probably solidify enough in making 10. Yeah. Hey, Pepper. Hey, Nelger. Turn your painting of a cat into a chair. Yeah, just totally warp it. What do you do for a living? Are you also game dev IRL? Oh, this is what I'm doing for a living. So yeah, I guess I am a game dev. All right, so simple localization workflow. I still don't really want to do this now. What about this? Yeah, I think we can check in what I've done. I can just do this stuff later. Yeah, let's do that next. Generating 990 more. We're going to be limited by how many asset packs exist out there. I really want to make a space shooter game. Like, really, really want to make one. And I've still been, I just like look at the space shooter assets that are here. And I'm like, oh man, which one could we use? Which ones look best? What kind of game could you make out of it? I don't even really have any ideas other than I just want to make a space shooter. Like, look at these fun graphics. They're pretty cool. So yeah, there are only a few space shooter games I've played and have liked. There was Gradius or Gradius. I played the Game Boy Advance, so I thought that one was pretty good. Is there a picture of this? Yeah, like typical space shooter kind of game. And then Aero Fighters I thought was really good. And there was some game, like some MS-DOS game about bats. What was it called? This one, Mutant Space Bats of Doom. This game was fun. I mean, again, it's just another space shooter. In fact, actually looking at it now, it's like if someone sold an asset pack of the... Wait, what? Play? Wow. If someone sold an asset pack of this, I'd be like, yeah, that's okay. A game within a game world? Like you have to win the impossible space shooter arcade game that's within the world to achieve your goals? I thought of something adjacent, but not that exact idea. All right, so let's go merge this branch. We got to push this. Hopefully that just worked. Yes, nice. So now let's pull it, merge it, add dialogue system. This isn't, why is it typing so slowly? This isn't 100% done, but it's a good start for the dialogue system. Right, it's not even surfaced in the game anymore. I currently have auto start set to false, so it won't even show in the farming game yet. But I want to continue to develop this from main. Create. And now we're going to go merge. I don't want to squash this. Yeah. I think squashing this is a bad idea. Maybe not in this case. No, this was kind of a feature branch. Maybe we do squash this one. Yeah. I think that's fine. Hey, Algo Dev, how you doing? You can almost form oogly out of your name. Oogly div. So now we have two ooglies in chat. Not too bad. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing well. How's your game coming along? And what happened here? Did I not actually click confirm? I did not. Okay, so now we switch back to main. GSM. Well, that doesn't look good. Was something else checked into main? Because that should be impossible. What? My branch was ahead. I forgot to push then? Oh, okay, fine. All right, so then get... I'll just merge it with what I have. It shouldn't even be a problem, right? What did I do here? Apparently it is a problem. Resolve. What did I do? Farming game, walk on dirt, and UI hover button. Why are these on different branches? What? These should be in the same place, right? Add walking sounds. Yeah, what? I don't understand. These were on the same branch. Why is it even asking me about this? Yeah, I don't understand this. I don't know what I did wrong. We have add walking sounds. That's where I put the dirt sound in. And then somewhere here we have add button sounds. Yeah. It was all in the same thing. Why is there even a merge conflict here? Farming game, walk on dirt. Okay, I don't know. Yeah, let's just pull both of these things in. It doesn't matter. Enter door, walk on dirt, yeah. So fine, apply. Oh, we need a comma there. Is that it? And then all sound data is needed. We have walk on dirt twice here. How did this happen? Contents are identical. Select files to commit. There's no file to commit. What's going on? I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna drop this, by the way. Yeah, what am I supposed to do here? It says select files to commit, but there's no file to commit. Did it just, nope, it did not finish rebasing this for me. Is there another dialogue where you're supposed to fix this? Oh, wait. Oh, what's this? Continue rebase. Oh, there we go. Okay. That's good to know. I should write that down. When rebasing, the continue rebase button is where you'll find the branch name normally. Where you'd go to push code. It is not in the commit dialog. Yeah, so we're done, right? Yeah, so now if I push, it's going to complain that I... What? Something's very wrong here. I don't know what happened. I don't know what I did. I didn't even push a new thing. So I apparently like rebased onto the branch I was already on. Man, I don't understand this at all. Yeah, there was nothing to push. There is nothing in status. Git commit is just the... Oops, not git commit. Git log is the squashed thing that I had here, yeah. Huh. Hey, pickle. Yeah, I don't know what happened with that. Yeah, I don't know. Because it shouldn't have ever said there was a conflict to begin with. But it looks like we're on the right track now. So let's see what happens if I just launch the game. Abby. I hear her meowing over there. Yeah, everything looks fine. Okay, who knows? Yeah, I don't know. Do we have sounds? Yeah. All right. So what's next on the list? This stuff's done. Flesh out dialogue. So right now it throws you into the dialogue immediately. We should probably throw you into a cutscene where the guy walks over to you and starts talking, which means we need a tutorial man. All right, let's go find tutorial man. Character. Others. NPCs. I think I looked through these already. What do they look like? There's a baker, a mermaid, a blacksmith. They have a portrait too. Child and pirate. What else do we have here? Pre-made. Alex. Josh. Manu. Okay, no, we don't have anything that looks like kind of what I wanted. I wanted there to be some like older man who came over to you. But whatever, let's just pick one of these. I mean, they can't look like a baker. I guess they could, but they probably shouldn't. It would be actually kind of funny if they walked over to you. Yeah, it could be. Maybe that's why they came to you, because they're hoping that you'll give them produce to bake. Hey, puppet. Hi, cat. Good cat. Hey, Alex. He was a placeholder that never got replaced. Well, there is also presumably a baker in the town, right? And they could be wearing their whole get up just 24/7. Typical game logic. Hi. Do you want to sit down? He's like, no, I want to be pet. Okay, there. You sit. Good cat. She's purring. This is the portrait that we have for them. Yeah, honestly, this is fine. Yeah, I think it's fine. Okay, that's right. Now bathe yourself. So what do we need here? They have a run graphic. I don't think we need that. I think idle and walk, and then maybe their portrait. So let's go get both of those. And plug this in. Assets, sprites, characters, farming, tutorial man. All right, there we go. Cat. Hey, Mr. D-Boy. So the idea was this character would walk over to you. So you'd wake up, you'd be outside your house, then this guy would walk over and start talking to you. And then he eventually walks off the screen, I guess. Where's the farming game? Oh, I closed it. There we go. Yeah, so there needs to be some way to get into town. That's presumably over there. And I guess the camera should probably start you pretty close to that boundary. Although you could just see the character walk off the screen. That's fine. Yeah, I think that's reasonable. So have Tutorial Man walk over to you. Start the dialogue when he's close. Prevent you from acting just yet. And what else? When the dialogue is done, have the Tutorial Man walk away. And then only grant control to the player again after the Tutorial Man has left. Make sure the NPCs are visible in the world. Yeah. Yeah, and maybe show what in the over your character right before Tutorial Man comes over. All right, that's decent. Let's go do this stuff. So we need Tutorial Man. So this is a character that doesn't need proper anything, really. But they'd probably be a character body 2D. So let's do that. Whoops, not like that. And then they'll have an animated sprite. We'll just control that directly. And they'll have, what, a collision shape, I guess. And then this will have a rectangle that we'll just eventually set. And in the animated sprite, we'll make new sprite frames. We will make an idle animation. Or I guess all we need is like idle left, and walk right. All right, so what's in idle left? Sprites, characters, farming, Tutorial Man, idle. Left ones are over there. So we probably set it to 32 and separation divided by 4 and click. Texture nearest. All right, so how does this look? Did I miss a frame here? Like, should I have duplicated this one? So it's that. I think I might have messed up all the other animations too. I mean, it could look like this. I just don't know what it's supposed to look like. Where are the idle animations? No, that is how they're supposed to look. Their hands just like kind of bounce up and down like that. That's what I have, right? Yeah. Okay, sure. As long as that's what it's supposed to look like. All right, so that's idle left. Now walk left. This is presumably the same size. And we have 6 this time around. So walk left is going to be those frames. And then walk right could just be inverted. But they actually do have walk right frames, so I guess let's just add them. Where I missed one. There. Hey, Fluffed. Reminds me of psychological horror. Yeah. And I could go in that direction, but it's going to be a very light kind of comedy-based game. I've got more information about it there. All right, so if we play this, there's the walking animation. There's the other direction. Looks good. We're going to save this as scenes, subgame, farming, and call this Tutorial Man. Don't you love when the mouse dies? I haven't had a wireless mouse for any extended period of time. So I don't think I've ever had a mouse Well, I guess like you still have a wired mouse die on you. Maybe that's what you're talking about. But I assume you just mean a battery thing. Tutorial man. Physical mouse. Wired mouse, I guess, yeah. Okay, so now we instantiate in a tutorial man. Tutorial man. And we put this up here somewhere. And put you over there. I want you to be at the same like Y coordinate as the player. So where is the player? 135. So you should also be at 135. It doesn't look like they're aligned, but I guess they are. Yeah, they are. All right, so you start over there somewhere. Sure, whatever. Actually, you're probably in view of the camera, right? How far can the camera see? Wait, the camera can see that many tiles? Really? Is that right? So if I change the ground layer and I change this to like dirt, that's right at the edge of the camera? Oh, wow. You can see a lot farther than I thought. I wonder if we should zoom in. Camera zoom 2. So now if we full screen it, this is the level of zoom we would have. That's pretty good, right? Yeah, it's pretty good. But now that means that the player, the tutorial man is visible. So we want them to not be visible. So just drag them over here so they're out of bounds. Or I don't know, wherever. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. And then paint this back to what it used to be. There. Okay, so what's supposed to happen? Prevent you from acting. Yeah, we don't have a way of doing that. Farm game. We do have an is player input enabled, but this is enabled based on the... How is this private? Oh, on dialogue complete. Yeah, so there's a dialogue potentially stopping you and the very like opening potentially stopping you. So I guess we just start with player input disabled. In fact, maybe we have like a start cutscene thing here. Private void start opening cutscene. Player input disabled. So set player input disabled false. How's that work? That works exactly like what I want. And we'll start this right from ready. All right, so that's step number 1. Prevent you from acting. Show what in the over your character right before tutorial man comes over. All right, so how do we do that in the office scene? Architect office. Did we have an animation player? We did. And yeah, we have visible ratio is what we controlled. So we need visible ratio of a rich text. That's not rich text. Oh, I see. That's the path. It's not a VBox container. Yeah, it's rich text label. Okie dokie. So I guess let's copy this over to the farming game and paste this in the world and have it say what in the, and now where is it? Word wrap. Is there a reason I can't see this right now? Huh. This is fully opaque. This is fully opaque. Let's just move it into the bottom of the scene. All right, let's put it in the canvas layer. What am I doing wrong? Fit content is on. Auto wrap is off. Oh, visible characters is 0. I see. Okay, so we need to set this ratio farther up. Yeah. But we probably left align this? I don't actually know how we want to do that. I think it looks better with a dot, dot, dot. Yeah, there we go. All right, so we need an animation player. So we'll call this like opening cutscene player. No, it should just be animation player. And then we can just name an animation. Opening cutscene. So this can autoplay. Well, no, maybe it shouldn't. Yeah, let's fetch the animation player and do it from there. So animation player equals get. This is just called animation player. Yeah, player.play opening cutscene. It's just in snake case. How do you apply that? Snake case, toggle case. Yeah, that's close enough. Okay, so there's our opening cutscene. So now the way we'll test this is just by adding a track right now. Property of the first line ratio. Set the time to, wow, it's only got to be like 10 seconds long. And we're going to let the scene fade in. How long does that take? Does main do it? We fade the screen black for a second. Then we wait. Then something fades it in, right? Where does that happen? Yeah, this fades to black over the course of a second. What fades it back in? I don't know. Maybe nothing does. Maybe it just appears. I don't actually recall. This is the end of this cutscene. And I remember that we call some function here. Yeah. Fade out spooky music. Then we fade out this thing. It's black for an extra second. But then nothing fades it in, huh? Well, we can just search for other tweens. No. Is that 8 characters, including alpha for the fade in? Yeah. Yeah. Wow, I don't remember. Did I do this over here, maybe? We instantiate this thing. We initialize it. Tween. No, we never faded in. Is that how it's fading in? This is how it's oh, right, you're right. I give Tolus points. Okay, so we fade in over the course of a second. So this happens in the new game's time. So we kind of have to wait a second for that to finish. So we're going to start it here. Or like hereabouts. Although maybe we should just put the fade into this animation player. So it's apparent. So value is 0. And then maybe over the course of, how long would it take for you to read that? It's only 3 words. No, I think it should wait a little bit longer even. Maybe like there. Yeah, let's just put these wherever. And I'll just see how it feels once I play it. So yeah, we're going to hit play here. It's going to type out. I want that to happen by word. Can we do that? I don't think you can. Does it always show your first and last name, or am I only noticing that now? I don't really call attention to it usually, but it probably always showed that. Yeah, I don't know if you can do this by word. I mean, well, no, I don't want to. I don't want to mess with this too much. Let's just keep it like that. So how long does it take to type out? Maybe we should use the dialogue system for this too. We need a special dialogue system just for this one line. I'll leave it as this for now, but we can make this better in the future. And then should we fade this out? There's an ad that's going to start, but Abby's on my lap, so I'll just snooze this for a sec. And then we want to fade this out completely. So add another property for this. Self-modulate. And just set this down to this. That's not what I meant. Set it down to this. All right, and then Tutorial Man walks over to you. So property track, Tutorial Man, position. So he should probably start walking over to you somewhere around here, maybe. I don't know. He probably takes a really long time to get there anyway, though. So maybe we do this. And then wherever we end up here, so let's set this to 5. And then go over to 5. Then we need to move him so that he's close to you. Maybe like there, like a healthy distance away. Yeah. And his animation when he starts moving is going to change. How do you do this? I always forget how to do this. I think you have to do call method. No. No. Because I need to pop out its... or I'll give it a script. I need to pop out the animated sprite 2D. I could just say editable children here and then it'd be fine. And then instead of putting this here, we do call method on the animated sprite. And we put a function when they start walking to be play. And we specify what animation name they're supposed to have. And it's walk left. And then when they reach their target, so we copy this. And did I just click copy or delete? Copy and paste. And then set this to idle left. And then eventually they're going to leave. But yeah, here's what this would look like right now. You won't see the animations play out. This character's walking pretty fast. They're gunning it over to you. Let's see what it looks like in the scene itself. So the screen would fade in. You don't see that here. You can't even read that text. This character is bolting over to you. They're so fast. So we could spread that to the left a little bit and spread that one to the right a little bit. And now it'll take a little bit longer getting to you. In order for this text to be legible, we need there to be a background. We could put it in a small panel container, or we could just put outline around the text. Yeah, that's probably fine. So put this here. And theme, color, outline. And then constants, outline size, like 3 or 4. I don't know. That's probably fine. Yeah, how's that look now? Maybe your character should look left and then right first. They look left, they look right. Yeah, the timing of this is not really working out right now. Have them look left/right first. Or maybe have a question mark emoji. I think we have those emojis too. They're in here somewhere. UI, no, icons maybe. Pets, weapons, food. No, it's not in there. UI. Yeah, one of these. Maybe not that specifically. Where is it? Speech bubble emojis reactions. Yeah, here. We have a question mark. Yeah, this. We could show that. We could show like 5 or 6 of those. Yeah, I think that's probably better. Abby, I need to take a break. You take a break, cat. She's just curled up on my lap. All right, I guess I'm a hostage now. No breaks when cat. Yeah. Hey, crude forage. Hey, goose. So, yeah, I think I want to put this in. I don't know if I want to do it right now. I mean, why not? Is there any other emoji that kind of indicates confusion, maybe? Maybe this one? Let me just take a picture of this. Why are there other ones down below? There's like white on them. All right, so good ones would be this, maybe this, maybe this or this, or this, or this, this, or this. Yeah, those ones. Are these two the exact same? They are not. There's more white on the top of this one. Yeah, so one of those I think could look good. Let's just paste those in so I don't forget which ones I highlighted. But I think let's just use the question mark one for now. So let me go plug that in. That's here. Oops. We're going to put this under UI, I guess. Yeah. I kind of want to clean up all the cutscene stuff that I do afterward. I'm not sure. So you'll just end up with these like emoji things popping up over you. Sprite 2D. Texture, Atlas texture. Quick load in emojis. Set the texture filter. And then figure out where that question mark is. It is right there. 32,192. Yeah. So let's do that. Let's delete the first line thing. I don't really care about that. So we'll have this thing appear instead. And we'll actually put many of them. And I'll just like rotate them or something a little bit. Rotate mode is E. I want to spawn a bunch of these. Make them shoot at the chef like projectiles. No, they're just going to be for you as a character. And we could scale this one too. We could just do that. Just do a zoom in and a zoom out. Like, what is going on here? So this is question mark 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, you know what? I want all of these to start from the same position. Like here. And then animate going up. Yeah, float up and fade out. Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm thinking here. All right, animating this is a little annoying. So question mark 1 just going to appear. So it's self-modulate. Will start as completely transparent. And then right around here where we had this before, it'll still be transparent. But then it'll fade this in. And then it's too bad you can't duplicate an entire track. That'd be really nice to do. One scale up until it takes up the whole screen. Yeah. Can you copy a track, actually? No. Oh, there's copy track. Oh, I didn't know you could do this. What do we want? We want self-modulate, but then we also want, so I can just paste this in here now? How do you paste a track? Oh, that's not what I want. No, that's not what I want. Well, whatever. We can copy the keys. Just make sure we're at 0 when we do that. There. So I want these to fade in differently. And then let's add in the other ones too. So property, question mark 3, self-modulate. There we go. And then question mark 4. Good. Okay, then paste those in too. Good. So all of these would show up just barely after that, and we modulate their position. So duplicate isn't working for me for some reason. When I click duplicate it, okay, now it works. My goodness, I swear I've done this. Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe it's when I do it on a node like this. Yeah, when you do it on a node like this, it doesn't do anything. Oh, now it's working. Okay, I don't know why then. I don't know why sometimes it works and sometimes, yeah, like there it didn't work. And I click it again and it works. And it's not like it's hidden below that or something. All right, so this is going to make all these appear, but I want them to also move as they're appearing. So let's add a position for this. And just insert a key here. So this one is going to go, what, up and to the right. I guess this is the worst way of me doing this, huh? I should just move this myself, like so. Yeah, and then just click the button, right? Easy. Okay, then do that with all of them, I guess. And question mark 4. Okay. Now we need their starting positions, which I just probably lost. Yep. I lost it. Oh boy. That's too bad. Yeah, they're in this new position now. Aw, man. I guess I should have deleted these. Maybe I should just Command Z them. But they're moved already. Yeah, well, I learned my lesson for next time. And next time is now. Wait, this is question mark 2, right? Yeah. So we move this. Hit the button. Question mark 3. Move this. Hit the button. And then question mark 4. Yeah. All right. I mean, part of this is learning all the tools because we're going to be doing this stuff a lot, I bet, throughout all the games. All right. So now if we play this. Yeah, I mean, it works. It's just not great. I want to make this cubic. And cubic. Actually, maybe just changing the easing would be better. Yeah, so this is kind of what I was thinking. I think we can make this a little bit better in terms of animation. I'm not going to worry about it for right now, though. Let's duplicate this, put this over here, duplicate this, put this over here. So they'll all fade out at roughly the same time. And again, we'll make this better afterward. Yeah, an ad is going to start. I should probably just move the cat, right? Yeah, fine. All right, is it jump time? Come on, Abby. It's jump time. Okay, hello again. Close the game. Let's keep going with this. So I left out trying to animate these things. And I mean, we did something here. It's not great. So these happen, and then this character comes over. Yeah. So like I said, this is not great. Doesn't matter. We should probably at least line these up. Where are they right now? At roughly 4.7. So let's set them all the exact... Oh, we can't? There's no way to set these all at the same time? No. I'd have to manually type in... Oh, man. I don't want to do that. I'm going to now, but I don't want to. There. And then what are these at? 5.8, let's just say. There. All right, come on back, Abby. I'm sorry, I know. You can sit down again. Yes, good cat. wants to. Hey, yeah. Hey, Leftist. All right, so this guy comes over, and then from there it should play the dialogue, which I think we can do. We have access to the dialogue runner. Is there a method you could call in here? There should be a method. Yeah, let's try it. Call method, dialogue runner. So he makes it over to you. And then we play start dialogue forget. Where's just start dialogue? What does start dialogue forget mean? The return type of start dialogue prevents it from being called from GDScript. Creating this non-async method allows dialogue to still be started from GDScript. I see start dialogue right there, though. Why can't I just call this? I guess because... All right, fine. Let's just do that. And then don't I need to customize what argument it's going to start? Yeah, but it has a default already set. All right, let's just try this and see what happens. Maybe it'll work. Hey, Ashton. And it didn't work. It's probably going to say that it can't find the dialogue node. No node named blank has been loaded. Yeah, so I got to probably specify it to be start. That's my guess. Now we got to wait again. Hey, nice. Hello and welcome to Moondrop Village. All right, so now we got to move some stuff around so you can actually see what the characters are. Yeah, you can use GDScript and Godot at the same time. Hello, grunty cat. That's right. I gotta wait for this to finish anyway. Might as well pet the cat. All right, so yeah, the problem is that in order to be able to see these characters, we need to have them be at like the very top of the screen pretty much. I mean, if we want there to be some like some action happening here, and we don't for this particular dialogue, but if we wanted to, you'd want to put both of these characters in a way that you could see them, which means this should probably be slammed to the bottom of the screen. All right, let's try to work through some of this. So here's our game page. Let's put this there. I need to expand this only so that I can expand to this. All right, what do we got here? Line presenter. So this is at the top of the screen right now. There's a panel with all of this stuff. If I just move this, yeah, it moves everything. Yeah, I think we want this to be lowered on the screen. Although we should probably do it with anchors, right? Because right now it's going to have changed it through offset. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. Anchor point. Grow direction, horizontal both, vertical bottom. This should probably be top actually. And then it should be anchored to the bottom. So 1.0. And we set this to 1.0. No, that doesn't work. I mean, now it's taking up the whole screen. I guess what I want is bottom wide. And then we set this to custom again and change this. So this takes up like most of the screen maybe. And then for there to be a little bit more of an offset here, so maybe like 10 pixels of padding on either side. There. That does not work the way I expected. All right, what does it say for this? Distance between the node's bottom edge and its parent control. Should not modify them manually if your node is a direct child of a container. Offsets update automatically when you move or resize the node. This is not part of a container, but we probably should just put it in a margin container, right? And not do this. Oh, the only presenters are in here. There's a panel for the text. So maybe say like text panel. And this is a panel for the character name. Character name panel. So both of those things can be inside of a margin container. And then the margin can just have like 10, 10, 10, 10 set on it. Now we need to restart for this. Oh, man. Hey, Distortion. It's going a little bit slowly right now. I'm trying to make sure that you can see your character and the character who's talking to you. So I need to, instead of making like a square dialogue, I need to squish it and kind of elongate it. But there also needs to be space for any dialogue options you have. Alternatively, we put the dialogue options off to the right side. So like we could do something like this maybe. This is for text. And this is for choices. And then this is where we put the character name. And that way you have this entire area to see the world. I mean, the world's not super important in this, but can make the choices replace the text. I didn't want to do that because I want you to be able to see what you're choosing. Like imagine if it said, what is your favorite fruit or something? If you could only see the choices, then you need to have some way of being able to see like, wait, what did they ask me about? What am I responding to? We could try this. Yeah, we could try this style. Go leave dialogue at the bottom, make choices appear above it in the middle. You won't be looking at the world anyway during the dialogue. Yeah, but I think it's good for setting context. No, I'm not going to do anything super fancy for this. It's not a bad idea, but it's just I want to get something working for right now. All right, anyway, let's try this then. So instead of arranging these things, these can be on top of each other. That part's fine. But then the options would be in their own panel off to the right, I guess. Can I just copy this and put this at whatever parent this thing has? Yeah, nice. So this will be options panel. And we put the options presenter inside of here. I can't actually control this. All right, here we go. So we want these to be laid out differently. I guess I want them inside of an HBox container. Line presenter, options panel. Oh, wait, no, the options are right there. Oh, whoops, that's not how you do this. Yeah, I don't need the HBox container here. I need it inside of this. And we put the choices inside below the, okay, I see. Yeah, I don't think I want to do that. I think I want this to be an HBox container. All right, we got to restart this, but I don't want to watch the cutscene every single time. So let's go change this to runner.start dialogue. Start. And I guess do that. All right, let's try. Oh, I got to launch this from Godot, though. Yeah, I messed that up. But let's make sure it at least opens up correctly. Nope. It's trying to render stuff. It just can't. I think it's because we don't have a size on the HBox container or on the line text, maybe. This should, oh man, how do we do this? It's so difficult. So if I were to say fit content, then this will kind of work. I think we just need a minimum size over here. Alternatively, we set this to expand and then set the stretch ratio to be higher. I think this will be difficult. I think we just need to figure out what size we want to set this to. Although anchors could also do this for us. So where is this right now? It's not that. It's not showing here at all. Oh, because it's inside of a panel? I don't even see the panel though. Hey, Flair. And hey, Thorn, what's the game about? I've got the FAQ there that should tell you some more information. This particular game, this is a sub game in the game. This one's more about just driving the story forward than anything else. But yeah, man, I am running into some big problems here. Setting this up. There we go. Okay. So now I can change where this thing is. There, great. All right, so set this one to bottom wide, I guess, and then just expand it a lot. And let's stop automating that first choice. In fact, why don't we just do this? Why don't we just give choices to the first bit here? Choice 1, choice 2, longer choice number 3. Yeah, let's just do that. Yeah, my choices are presumably that right there. So I got to figure out how to fix that. Character names in the middle of nowhere. That's another problem. Shouldn't there just be a VBox container? Yay, we're getting there. All right, so then this needs to be set to expand. All right, we're still getting there. This looks better. I don't want this taking up the entirety of the space, though. So we set this thing to not expand. Nice. Nice. We're getting a step closer. Now I just need to figure out the choices. Hey, Magnus. I don't know what's going on with this bit now. Like, there's a random rectangle up there. I think that's the choices container. I just don't understand how that's the choices container. I guess if I turn it off, do I? No, that's not it. Where is this thing coming from? It's not that. It's not that. It's the options panel? Why is this a panel? Oh, I think I might have done something stupid there. Yeah, this was just me being dumb. Okay, let's put this there. Yeah, I think we just delete this. Thanks, Maple Leaf. Yeah, I'm very excited about it. I need to figure out why there are no choices in here. If we go to the remote view, we should be able to find out. Sub game, farming game. This. Somewhere in here, we should find choices. There it is. It's empty. There are no choices? Oh, you have to press space. Oh, okay. All right, how did that work? Yeah, I've been using Godot for a while now. I really like it. I just struggle with things like this. So yeah, it says you must be player and then bumps the text off to the left side for the sake of the choices. I don't know how I feel about that. But the rest of this looks pretty good. If we reserved space here, then the dialogue would only be this big. That's probably okay too. Yeah, that's probably fine. It's all in one panel right now. That's my problem. I want this to be structured differently. I want this to be up here. I want the line to be in the panel. I want the choices to be outside of it. So now we probably need to restart this for this to have worked. Yeah, now I broke something. Oh, how I broke something. What have I done? This is at the fill already. Why isn't it filling it then? What have I done? This, oh, there we go. Okay, so now it bumps to the side, but only when choices are present. Yeah. So I need to make it either like always be that way, because I think this would be kind of jarring to see this just pop up out of nowhere. Do they grow based on what's the largest? They grow based on what's the largest, but we could, I don't know what we could do actually. Yeah. I was going to say we could shrink the font size of the choices so that they always fit. I don't know what to do. Yeah, I could reserve some space here. If I just put a control here and put this underneath this and had this always take up the same amount of space, like custom minimum size 250, 250 or something like that. Yeah, so let's try that now. I have 2 words that don't capture the intent at all. ADHD. So now we have reserved space for it, but now this isn't showing up in the right spot. Probably need to change this to a like a center container or something. Oh, I think that's still not working, is it? No, that's better. Okay. That's more what I was thinking, at least, with this. And then we just set the minimum height to be nothing. And it'll just pick what it needs. Yeah, so that works. Now, if you have an even longer choice, what happens here? Test, test, test. Why is this not going to Godot? Very picky. So it'll bump it to the side in that case. But if you, yeah, it'll bump it to the side. It's fine for now. Yeah, it's fine for now. I just want this to be usable and still show you some of the world that you're in. So yeah, now you can see your character. Oh, the choices do bump this up though, huh? Why? Yeah, why? Oh, this isn't set to expand? Is that why? This can't expand. I think this shouldn't be a center container. I think that's a problem. I'm doing something wrong again. It went upward. So here's what it looks like at first. Let's take a picture of that. And then I press the button and it goes up. And I don't have an explanation as to why. It doesn't actually need more vertical space. This doesn't have a minimum height. It just has a minimum width. And this should already be set to take up as much space as it can. I think I'm just using the wrong container type. What other containers do we have? I guess it can just be a margin container or something. Actually, it should probably just be a panel container now that I think about it. I don't know why I didn't do that. Yeah, there. So choice panel. Put that there, delete that, set a minimum size of 250, and try again. Oh, but I don't want it to be visible all the time. And it still bumped it upward for some reason. Why? Why did it do this? Because this has a minimum size of 160? Ah, problem solved. So this doesn't need a minimum size at all. Yeah, because the parent will now have it. But the parent also has... I need to change how we render this. All right, for now, let's just not have it have a theme. Yeah. Oh, no, it's always going to have a theme. Well, I guess we could just say stylebox empty. Yeah, that would work. All right, so now we got our very basic layout for this. Yeah. And to make this not take up so much space, is that really 250 pixels? How big is the resolution of this? 640? I don't believe this is 250. Oh, it apparently is. Wait, right? Because we have to divide by 2? No, I'm in some like random size. What am I talking about? This is 960. So 250 divided by 640 times 960 is 375. It's more than 375. I mean, even here it looks like it should be larger than it is. No, it doesn't. I just shouldn't have this set to expand. There we go. Yep, that fixes it. Okay. Let's look at it in the game. Cool. Yes, great. Does C# and Godot support hot reload, or perhaps only editor changes, not code? So you can hot reload in some cases. In this case, any editor changes always would have worked. This is something that worked since forever, and it works with GDScript too. This is not a C# thing. But the actual C# code changing, there's a VS Code plugin that I found did not work very well. And then JetBrains, if you're debugging at the time and you're broken into the debugger, you can change code. And it generally works, but it can't let you change everything. What if each choice has a sentence? Yeah, if choices have a sentence or something, we're going to need a different solution for this. And yeah, I mean, we have the choices in here for what I have planned so far. So yes, no, what is going on? What else do we have here? Yes, tell me in detail, give me the gist of it. There's some other kind of joke things. Tell me about the stamina system. Yeah, I'm still torn about how we want to do this. Yeah, marquee. Let's do it that way. Hey, Kevin. But this is good enough for now, I think. Just try this out. I kind of wanted to just show you the choices automatically. But yeah, this should work. We can also lower the font size on this because most people will be playing this in full screen. And, oh, it's gone now. Let's replay it. Just have it flow off the side of the screen. That's German localization simulator. That's what we'll call it. Does this do what I think it does? No. Yeah, for some reason I lose the plus button over here and have to do it this way. Yeah. So this is very large text, I'd say. So like we could definitely just cut the font size down a little bit. All right, take care, Leap Year Girl. And see you on Friday. Tomorrow's a music stream, so you're not missing too much. Was it out of the box? It's out of the box, yeah. Okay, so this looks like it's working decently. We could probably make that a little bit bigger. What if we have text that goes off the screen now? This is more text that probably won't fit, but should cause the text box to scroll. I am guessing that it'll just scroll and you'll have no way as a player to be able to do this. So we probably have to say, yep, it's going to scroll. So if you had a mouse and keyboard, this is not a problem. You just scroll this and it's fine. But on a controller, we'd have to, like, you bind the stick to scrolling, so you press down or up. But then when the choices show up, you use up and down for the choices. So you'd have to let you go back to the left side and navigate this thing. It's possible, just not great. But then we can accommodate any length of text here. We don't have any potential problems. Right to scroll, left to navigate. Yeah, I don't want to do something like that for a game like this. We have our button sounds, right? Oh, that's a problem. When you enter the pause menu, it changes the focus and then never re-grabs it. I gotta write that down. Bug, the last selected dialogue option needs to be remembered for when you return from the pause menu, since the pause menu grabs the focus. Yeah, you could use a D-pad or something. I just still don't think it'd be super clear to players how that's working. Then again, how often would you need to scroll this again after you've gotten to the choices? So if it's not super obvious, it might be okay still. But yeah, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. We can change the presentation of this still. All right, so we did something like this. Well, not this in particular, but we did this. We did this. Start the dialogue when he's close. That's good. That's good. Have the man walk away. Show a stick icon over the scroll bar. Yeah. Yeah. We'll figure something out for that stuff later. And for now, we'll just write the English text and it'll be fine. And then when we get to localizing, we'll figure something out. All right, so now we need the tutorial man to walk away. That can be in the animation player. New. Tutorial man exit. Or like done with opening dialogue. Sure, name of this doesn't really matter. So when you are done, the tutorial man will leave. So we set their position. Insert a key, set this to like 3 seconds. Insert another key. So they got to walk off screen at roughly the same speed that they walked onto the screen. So here's where we change their position. And if we hit play, that's how fast they move. Which means it takes like 4 seconds for them to leave. Maybe they can leave slightly faster than that. Maybe they leave in 3 seconds. And their position at the end of this needs to be exactly there, yeah. So we just need to sync these two things. Tutorial man, copy, and paste. That didn't even work. What happened? What space value is supposed to do that? I didn't copy the same value, did I? 606, 135. Oh, whoops. Yeah, I did copy the same value. All right, pepcac. There we go. All right, so now they bolt. They just run from you. And then call a function to make them look like they're walking to the right. Play. Hey, SWAT kid. Can you turn into a cheetah? That would be pretty funny. Walk right. All right, so animation player is called done with opening dialogue. Can we click rename so that we can copy that? Good. It's aging in front of your eyes. Yeah, there are a lot of funny things we could do with this. So we need to detect when the animation player is done playing. And then finish this thing off. Okay, so player.animation finished. This is not sender and args. This is the animation name. And we don't actually set this to true. We do player.play this. Yeah. So private void on animation player finished. So if animation name is the starting, whatever that's called, opening cutscene, then play the new one, which means we need to save off the animation player. Fun. Private animation player. Ready, go save that. Well, I don't know for sure that this is the best way to do things, SWAT Kid, but yeah, this is at least how I work through it. Oh, it's just called player. There it is. Cool. So when it's finished, actually this finished thing could be in ready. And this will be on animation finished. Good. Great. All right, that should do it. Why is there an error? Expected a method with what? Oh, capital string name, not lowercase string. Yeah, there we go. Well, our scripting can just be C# in this case. All right, that text shouldn't be there. All right, so set auto choice. This doesn't actually even happen now. In fact, I should save this somewhere. Okay, let's try it. So you get into the, nope, that's not working. It's not working because I forgot to change this. Ready is skipping right to the dialogue. I want to start the cutscene though. All right, how are we looking now? This guy cruises over to you. Hello and welcome to Moondrop Village. You must be player. You stare blankly, and he walks away. Yeah, that's exactly what I meant to do. It's actually pretty hilarious for a cutscene. It'd be funny if he like came back. He says line. All right, so yeah, the problem is that I don't want to wait for the animation to be finished. I want to wait for the dialogue to be finished. Yeah, on dialogue complete. Here it is. And this is not actually what we would do yet, right? So in this particular case, we would play this. I guess that is a false here. We need to keep track of some state. Log off screen and back on for reline. Just goes faster and faster. No, you still need to have some semblance of like sanity here. We can get to very goofy stuff later in the game. Hello and welcome to Moondrop Village. You must be player. You stare blankly. The man stays there looking at you. Good. Well, didn't your grandpa give you this farm? What is going on? Oh, what is going on needs to be disabled. You're not allowed to pick this one if false. Because that's what the player wants to choose. So we're putting that there knowing that you're going to be curious what's happening, but we're not going to allow you to satisfy that curiosity. Why can you still select it then? Oh, you can select it. You just can't. You can't press A on it or whatever. All right. So did he give you this farm? No. Real jokester, huh? Just saw your grandpa earlier today, and he told me you'd be here right around now. Do you need any help getting started? Now I don't have any other dialogue. But then he walks away. Cool. Okay. See you. Bye. Oh, he's still there. Oh no! And I just get in line. But how would it be if you're on dirt? How about that, mister? Huh? Huh? What if I plant some seeds? I can't plant seeds on that one tile. But I can plant them on these tiles. Oh, yeah. You'll never know what hit you. See, this is the kind of hilarious thing I want to eventually incorporate into the game. Not this one game, but this is great. This is exactly what I want. Leave him there. Actually, I could leave him there, right? And you could just never talk to him again. Natchin X, thanks for the resub. Happy 14 months. To be a good Easter egg. It's kind of funny if he's just there still. In which case, we don't need to wait for him to walk off the screen. Oh my god. Do we leave him there? Like he's saying dialogue from a different scene? Like, oh, nice to see you. Maybe he just falls asleep on the spot when it becomes nighttime. So funny. He walks off and just stays off screen because the tutorial expects you to move left and not catch him standing there. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's kind of how this would work. If we're gonna leave that, which I'm kind of thinking we should. Unfortunately, I don't remember where it left us exactly. So I gotta play this again. So he leaves. Actually, no, we could consider control to be regained sooner. Should just definitely leave him there. Actually, you know what would be funny is if he was moving at like 1 pixel per second, so that he does eventually leave. He just walks through the side. Okay, I probably need to do that because this is too good. All right. What was I gonna do first though? What was it? Oh yeah, give you control sooner than when you're actually done. So like at the 2-second mark. He doesn't need to be fully off the screen. So how do we do this? You need to say like private void allow player control, or like tutorial man walked far enough. And now here what we'll do is set player input enabled again. So now we don't need any of the animation player stuff. This could all be deleted. Where's animation finished? There, this can be deleted too. What about a 3rd or 4th wall breaking support character that can generically help you for all minigames? It has to depend on minigame context. Yeah, I was thinking about something like that if the games are tough. Because otherwise there'd be no indication of like how do you complete this. So maybe on the pause menu there'd be a character that helps you. But I don't know how hard the games will be. All right, so once this character has started over here, we can tell them to start walking. So we can give them a script. Farming game, add class, tutorial man. So partial class. They really just have to be a node 2D. And we can give them a private bool is walking right. And then in physics process, we can say position dot x plus equal delta, otherwise 0. Plus equal vector 2 dot right times that. What's the problem here? Can't apply it to a double? All right, there we go. So now we just need a like public void set is walking right. And then the farming game is going to do that for that player, which means we need to go get tutorial man over here. Put them next to the player. Okay. And then the bottom where we give you this set is walking right to true. All right, let's try that out. Just idea guys spitballing. Yeah, like I said, if we have difficult games, I do think I'd want to do something like that. But otherwise, I forgot to get this a script. But otherwise, I don't know if it'll be needed. All right, so this should work. No, it didn't. What went wrong? Oh, no, that's fine. I just need to start it through here. Okay. When you're adding this guy? Yeah, you should definitely be there somewhere. All right, so now you regain control a little bit sooner. Wait, what? Why can't I move sooner? I can't move at all. Oh, I never called the function. Whoops. All right, so play a whoops. I don't want that. I want this call method on farming game. And at the 2-second mark, why would that happen? Insert key. Tutorial man walked far enough. All right, so this plays out. You should regain control sooner. If I just hold right, I believe I should start moving. Yeah, so now he is slowly moving. And you can tell because I'm going to do this. And now you can see. In fact, he should pass through you. And I guess if he does, then it means... Because he doesn't... Wait, what? How has he stopped? He actually has collision with me then. But he's not supposed to. I didn't use move and slide. Screamy, thanks for the sub. I don't think I've seen you chat before. Oh, wait, no, he's pushing me. Is he? Yeah, he's pushing me. Wait, so doesn't this mean you can go out of bounds if you put yourself here? This is going to take forever. Silent Stalker. Oh, you know what we could do? If I started this through Godot, I could just move where tutorial man is. Yeah. So let's not full screen this anymore. Let's speed this up by quite a lot and put him tutorial man. Put him farther over. Where's his position? There it is. Okay, so let's set this as 750. Now 780. I'll move you to the side. 820. All right, now what happens? Oh, he's pushing you out of bounds. I wonder what happens if I move now. Oh yeah, I'm stuck. We're just along for the ride now. We could make this an achievement. Like, we could put a world over here or something where we expected you to go out of bounds by doing this. By the way, this would take you like probably 10 minutes in the game to get to this point. But then yeah, you just get bumped out of here. And we could, yeah, we could put some message in here that's like clear that we knew you'd get here. Maybe the message should say, do you want to try waiting for the next wall? And the next wall is like way over here. So can I dig here? I can. Nothing stops me from making a farm on the outside. Yeah. But now you can't get back to your house. We should probably just turn off his collision, to be honest. Right? Like, I don't see why we'd keep that there. This is great. I mean, it is pretty funny. Void farming. I want to see if it plants a seed on the next tile. Yeah, it does. Evil Rex. Very stressful. I passed. Congratulations. Here's Abby to congratulate you. Yeah, so I think we turn off this guy's collision and he just walks through the world. Because otherwise, I don't want to deal with you going out of bounds just yet. So, Tutorial Man, we are going to disable your collision. Oh, that's weird. Oh, it didn't expand that. All right, there we go. So now he should not be able to push you anymore. But he'll still move very, very slowly. Which I just think is very funny. So, yeah. A darker shade, like the underworld. Yeah, we could go kind of crazy with it. This is the kind of thing I was talking about, though, where I was saying, like, we can add a lot of extra details. And it's a question of how much will the player actually see. Oops. So you can just walk through them now, right? Did I test that? Very goofy. Maybe if you use the shovel where he is, he disappears. We have to, there's a fine line between making the player, like letting the player know that we expected them to do this stuff and having them just think it's a bug. Then there's a little something there because they know, yeah, exactly. Huh. Okay. So this is looking pretty good. We should probably type out the rest of the dialogue and everything. What else do we have? That's pretty much it, right? Okay, so didn't your grandpa give you this farm? Yeah, so you can't choose this one. This shouldn't be a problem eventually. Tutorial Man has the wrong path. I don't know if I ran this again. You have a pun for me. Let it rip, Patootie. And thanks for the 35 months. Let me run this from here again and make sure this doesn't fail. Yep, good. We're fine. Okay, so he told me... What is it? What is it, Patootie? Let it rip. All right, do you need help getting started? Yes, tell me in detail. Give me the gist of it. So this is supposed to be kind of a joke that it's a very, very extensive tutorial with a bunch of meaningless text. It's like a joke where you're playing with words. Have you seen Airplane? I feel like that style of joke was used several times in there to great effect. Got him. You sure did. You sure did. All right, so yes, tell me in detail or give me the gist of it. Give me the gist of it is use your inventory to till land, plant crops, and water the crops. what if he just says, grow some crops, bruh? I need there to be enough direction here that you actually know what you have to do. But I don't think this guy needs to tell you it. Because, yeah, we could just stop you from going back into your house until you've planted 3 crops. I've been here since the launch of Skeleseller. How was the launch of Skeleseller? Skeleseller went well. I have a little wrap-up doc if you ever want to read that. It's not really super important or anything, just that we've moved on to the next game. The new game is going pretty well, too. We are... So, yeah, let me back up a little bit. For those who haven't seen this game, in fact, let me just show you from the beginning of the game, I guess. So if we go to main, and then this. All right. I'm going to try not doing this a million times per day. So if you haven't seen this, please pay attention now. But this is the new game I'm working on. It's called Stuck in a Broken Tutorial. You're going to go from the title screen to here. So as far as you're concerned, this is a platformer. And it teaches you how to play this platformer. So like press A to jump, press A in the air to double jump, press R to dash. And you get here, try to collect the diamonds in one go. But you can't. Yeah, we got to have this play for a little bit longer, I realize, because the player is going to be very confused here. Yeah. Anyway, so this is what we have so far. So you're going from broken tutorial to broken tutorial. And yep, that's where we're at right now. So yeah, in this farming game, we just need you to plant a few crops. So you can water a couple of plots of land over here, and you can plant your seeds that you've got. And then you just be able to go to sleep. And when you go to sleep, you're going to end up in this dream world that is a combination of this and the platformer game. And you're going to meet the architect again, and they're going to banish you again. They're going to banish you back to this game, I guess. Yeah. Which I guess is just a coincidence. I never actually answered that question. Will them have false starts? Well, this is a game about false starts, like all the way through. It's just a false game almost. Skeleseller was just a funny intro. Like, a lot of RPGs have a cutscene at the beginning, but this one is like, hey, I just got out of bed and died. Which still cracks me up. Yeah, so we need this animation player to really like wait a little bit longer for this. So I want every other track to wait an extra like, well, I want every track. How do I do this? I want to bump everything to the side by at least like a second. And then this is the first. Oh, none of this matters. First line shouldn't even exist. Let me delete this. And this. Okay. So that first question mark is right here. I want the first question mark to show for a little bit longer, and then for the characters to walk in. So let's set this to 15. Hey, did they change Ellie Giggle? Huh. They changed the face of Eligigle. I wonder why. I wonder if they're going to cycle a lot of emotes like that. They change any other ones? No. None that I see, at least. Another ad is going to start. Yeah, I'll take another break. All right. Is it jump time? It's jump time. Oh yeah, hello again. Close the game. The dub for Zara. You did it. All right, so what I want to do is extend everything off to the right here, except for if we got to move everything by the same amount. Is there a way to do that? Scale selection. Is there a way to just move everything though? Move first selected key to cursor. Interesting. Wait, does that do what I think it does? Bracket left. All right, first select a key. Let's say we do that to cursor, bracket left. Interesting. Okay. What else can we do here? What does optimize animation do, I wonder? Probably gets rid of unnecessary keyframes. Yeah, so I don't know how we move stuff other than with this. Can I just like nudge to the right? No. I know there's a time here. What I want to do is I want to take, I guess I could just maybe I can just do this easily. All right, so let's bump this by a second. So this will be, let's say 4. And this will be, I could just have said +1 here, in fact. Yeah, let's do that. So +1 and +1. Okay, then we want to move all of these by a second. Yeah, I don't know how to do that though. I know I can drag this, but I need to drag it by exactly a second. Yeah, I don't know how we do that. All right, well, I don't know. Let's just see where this is. Or see where any one of these is. It's at 5.85. Oh, so what we could do is we move this to 6.85. And then select all of these. And then, nope, that didn't work. And then do bracket left. Yes, that is not obvious. All right, cool. I should write that down as an interesting tip. Do I have any other like animation player notes? Has it changed over the last like 2-ish years? Yeah, I just signed up for Claude on Sunday, and I've been using it a bit. I think I'm going to use it more for this project, or rather AI for this project. But I'm still not totally sure how exactly I'm going to use it. But I'm only on the $20 a month plan right now, so I don't have a lot of usage. Although it did just reset, so I could use it again now. Yeah, 0% right now. This is a new thing they just added, and I don't understand yet if I can use this somehow. Daily included routine runs. Like, can I have a routine be run this plan and then get like an entire plan for free? I doubt it. Routines. Scheduled, run on a recurring cadence, trigger on demand, or in response to a repo event. What can you do with this though? Oh, maybe all you get is the routine for free and not the usage from the routine. Yeah. They probably still use the normal ones, yeah. Remember that during business hours, your hours are worth fewer hours? Yeah, I should invert my sleep schedule. Is it like a cron job in the back end? It's, yeah, pretty much. It's just a way to trigger a, well, it's something, a prompt, I guess. Try to figure out which ones I should look at first. Yeah, stuff like that is really interesting. I love the idea of AI. I don't like necessarily what is going to happen in reality, but the idea is so cool. All right, so we got to go test this. We should start in the farming game. I really should have the fade in be part of the farming game, not part of main. That way we could time this correctly. That should, I feel like this should be in parentheses or something. You stare blankly. Yeah. I don't like how that looks right now. Yeah. It's not going to change it on the fly. No. He told me you'd be here right around now. I think that could be made better. He told me you were arriving today. That's better. Yeah. God, this game. All right. Hopefully that's a little bit better. You stare blankly. Love it. All right. Well, didn't your grandpa give you this farm? No. Just saw your grandpa earlier. He told me you were arriving today. Any help getting started? And that's all we got. That's all we got. Should he just start moving faster and faster until he flies off the screen over here? Oh my god. I feel like he has to now. I just feel like he has to. Private, float, walk speed. We can set this to something by default, maybe like 1. He just walks away. Yeah, I haven't finished that part. It's hard to tell if you were just tuning in, like, is this intentional or not? So walk speed equals 1. And then here we say walk speed plus equal 0.01 F. So he's going to very, very slowly move forward. Well, increase in speed, I mean. So every physics process happens at a determined amount of time, regardless of your frame rate. It's 60 frames per second. So he's going to go from moving 1 pixel per second to moving 1.6 pixels per second. Even that might be a little too fast. 1.06 pixels per second. So that after 16 seconds, he's moving at 2 pixels per second. Took me a bit to find it again, but this is just wild. Yeah. I saw that. Yeah. Suffering from success. All right, so let's go take a look. So he moves off screen. Then you see him and he's moving really slowly. But if we put these every couple of tiles, you'll see he'll eventually move faster and faster. Hi again, Abby. Hi. I mean, I guess it's not obvious that he's moving faster and faster. Yeah, 2,000 years later. Hey, Ahmed. Or Osama, I guess. Osama, yeah. He can go faster when you water him. He's moving a little faster now. He's probably, yeah, he's not moving at the player's speed yet, for sure, but it's not such a glacial pace. But unlike you, they can walk through this wall. Oh, right, you have to dig it out before you can water it. Oh, you can dig the watered tile? I never tried that. Wow. There's going to be a lot of stuff like that in the game, huh? Yeah, I never tried that. Well, you should probably stop that from happening, right? That was not an intentional thing. Come on, Abby. Come sit down. Okay, so how about we check this in? I should really flesh out the rest of this stuff. Yeah, I'll just write this down for now. Bug, you can dig the water out of tiles. When it's done, have them walk away. Grant control again. Okay, so cool. So we're done with a little intro cutscene here. Let's go check that in. So we changed this a little bit. Yeah. This improved dialogue, we can check it on its own. I'll do that later. This is part of the intro cutscene stuff, though, right? Yeah. This is to start the dialogue immediately. You probably eventually want to get to that point. Okay. Yeah, looks good. Tutorial man is just really, really simple here. And that's pretty much it. All right, so add tutorial man and a cutscene. it's a pretty simple cutscene. Kevin suggested that we leave the tutorial man just to the side of the camera when the scene is done. Improved dialogue. These are minor improvements. Every bug is a potential feature. Yeah, and I think that's how we'll explore some of the comedy later. I'll just work on a game, and then we'll do something that's just kind of backwards, and it'll just stay in the game. Yeah. All right. So this is an actual problem. I don't know how we're going to fix this one. But where's start dialogue? Here it is. Okay, let's close out of these things. Gonna need AI to weed through those bug reports. So yeah, here's the problem. When you get a choice, you can... Oops, I didn't mean to do that. So you can select these, but if you press start, it puts a focus here, and then you can no longer select these anymore. So we need to detect when you've unpaused, and then focus the button again. Is your ear okay, Abby? I think she like scratched her ear too hard. Hang on one sec. Abby, look up. Abby. Well, if she did, it looks like it's pretty minor. So yeah, the pause menu calls grab focus on this. The dialogue needs to know about this. It needs to know when you've unpaused, I think. The dialogue has to detect when you've unpaused. Or we need some other focus context. Would it expect it to do it for you? It wouldn't know, because from its point of view, there's just another button in the scene tree that requested the focus, and then that button got hidden. It wouldn't know to go back to the original focus. Is there a concept of a focus context? Ability to automatically grab focus reacting to built-in UI actions like those. Yep, sure. Focus neighbors. I know about this. Yeah, I think we just need to detect when you've unpaused the game. But the dialogue thing needs to know that. It seems almost unnecessary. I also don't know how we're going to get at that signal. It does know what's currently available. So at minimum, I would expect the navigation to go back. Maybe not autofocus. I don't think so. I don't think you'd expect that. Like, because you can always work around it if you did want that in your game. But there are probably going to be lots of times where you don't want it because you have something grab focus and then who cares where the focus used to be. And then you move on to a different level or something. And it turns out your focus is stuck on some like UI element that you didn't expect. Yeah. All right, well. So pause menu could emit a signal. The problem is that it lives in main. And the thing that would react to this is like main, sub game, farming game, canvas layer, dialogue runner, options presenter, or something like that. We could have a like pause menu event bus that gets passed down. Call something like grab focus from the pause menu when it hides itself. Yeah, sure. Before I do that, let me add some choices over here. Test, test, test. else get tree root. Yeah, if this works, that'd be great. No. We could set this up here. Maybe it couldn't have grabbed it while it was not visible or something. Or not, sorry, grabbed it while it was paused. I doubt that's the case. No, yeah. I wonder if we gave it back to the game itself. If it would know. Which means that this would need to call out of here. Let's try this. Public event action unpaused game. Yeah. Other way over here. Now main listens for that. Pause menu, unpaused game. So we want to get the farming game and have it get the focus. What if we just tried this though? We just said sub game node grab focus. It's not a control, so it can't do that. I guess it's just the first child of this thing anyway. Farming game get child 0. Get node control. Now we just need a path to what's supposed to grab the focus. I mean, this is still kind of cheating here. This does not inherit from control, so we can't do that, right? So it had to be something in here. And even if we set it to the options presenter, which I don't think we'll be able to do, this is still a violation of everything. Oh, still, let's try it. It broke. What happened? Unable to cast options presenter to Godot control. Really? It is a control. Get child 0. I wonder if we can't do this from here. We need to... Subgame node should have the farming game in it. I mean, we could just put a breakpoint here and find out. It should exist right off the bat, so I can just press start. It didn't break in? Oh, right. It's when you press start a second time. Okay, so this should exist. And this should actually be the farming game. It is. It definitely is. All right, then we call get node control options presenter, and it doesn't want to cast it. Can I just do get node with nothing? That works and it exists? What is it? It's a control. Why can't I cast it to a control if it is a control? Is it a different kind of control? No, it's a Godot control. What? What am I missing here? This thing is a control. I mean, it also happens to be an options presenter. Oh, because this inherits from node? That's stupid. This needs to be a control. I wonder if this is going to break anything. Control inherits from node, but it doesn't know that it's a control. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. No, it's still failing. This control can't grab focus. Use set focus mode. Yeah, so I can't just give it to some parent. I need to give it to a specific. All right, well, we can set it back to a node now, I guess. All right, well, we tried. So we need to pass this unpause thing all the way back to the dialogue controller. Alternatively, maybe the dialogue controller can detect when you've unpaused. We would just need to be very careful about that. I think this is probably the smarter way of doing it, though. Let's go back to main. So this wouldn't happen. We would just get whatever the subgame node is and tell it that it's unpaused. This feels like global territory. I mean, that's another way we could do this. Just make the pause menu global. Also, we have to do this technically for every game that you have focus-based button interactions. You know, we could maybe do is just get what currently has the focus from the pause menu and save it, and then just give it the focus again at the end. Yeah, maybe we can do that. Yeah, Godot get focused node. Yeah, that should be doable. Viewport GUI focus changed. That's also probably helpful. Get focus owner, and yeah, so that's what we probably want. Get viewport, get focus owner. Yeah, this is much smarter. I don't know why I didn't do this originally. Prior focus. And this can return null, right? It can't. Oh, no, it can. Yeah. And so we don't need this here. If prior focus is not equal to null, grab focus, prior focus equals null. You don't do anything special to allow the options to be focusable in the first place? Nothing special, no. It just has to be buttons. But we do call grab focus on the first button. Otherwise, it wouldn't know to put the focus there. So when the focus is nowhere, pressing up and down doesn't do anything. All right, so if prior focus is not equal to null and is instance valid, prior focus. That should hopefully work. Let's try this out. What's the problem to begin with? The problem is, and maybe I just fixed it, you have these, like I'm pressing up and down on my controller right now, and it's moving the focus. You might not be able to tell, but there's like a faint white outline there. And if I press start, now the focus is on the pause menu. And when I press start again, now it's back. But before it was just nowhere. But now it's fixed. So yeah, that's it. That's the solution. Yeah, we were focusing the first button originally. Okay, so that fixes everything. We don't need this unpause thing, and this is a much smarter way of handling things than what I was going to do. Because yeah, I was about to make this a giant mess. So let's try it now. This is a very elegant fix. This is nice. Nice and easy. Oh, you know what? It makes a sound when you do that, though. It technically shouldn't. I don't care about that, though. I think it's a very minor problem. So we don't need this. Then maybe set focus no signal or something. Actually, I don't think there is, but you're right that there could be. Where did we have that here? Yeah. No. Now what we could do, this is definitely possible. We could try casting it to an option item. And if it's an option item, we could specifically set its skip next played sound. Where is that? Yeah, we could call focus button instead of grab focus. Yeah, that's something we could try here. If prior focus is option item. Option item dot focus button, else this. Yeah, that'll work. It's kind of weird. check for option items so that we can avoid an unnecessary sound. All right, so that this is a weird hack, but it's not working. Prior focus. Oh, it's just the button. It's not the option item. We need to check its parent. Yeah, I could make an interface or something. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that'll fix it now. Nice. Nice. Wow, look at that. Bug fixed. So set this back to what we had it as, and now everything is contained in the pause menu. Okay, so restore focus after pausing. There used to be this bug. Show dialogue options or choices, and then press pause. Unpause. At this point, the focus would be nowhere. We now restore it. Yeah, that's fine. Just commit that. All right, done with that. Bug, you can dig out the water tiles. That's easy to solve. Oh, command 1 doesn't do what I expected it to do. Farming game. So there's dirt or water. Yeah, here it is. Is tile dirt or water dirt? And we have something here for using the shovel. Where's the shovel code? Where is the shovel code? Here it is. Yeah, we need to make sure that it's not watered dirt. If is tile watered dirt? We need to get the source, don't we? Yeah. Existing source is that. Cool. So now we can do this or this. Okay. We could also track watered separately, and I'll probably eventually look at this again. But yeah, if it's not watered dirt, then turn it into dirt. Let's try it out. Oh, right. You gotta go through this nonsense again. Don't care. Go away. All right, so if we water something and then use the shovel on it, it does nothing. We use the shovel on this, it does something, and if we put seeds on it, it doesn't change anything. Yeah, nice. They say to call deferred instead of grab focus. Where's that code? Oh, initial focus. I think this is when you, yeah, this is when the game like first loads. Probably so that it waits 1 frame before it does it. But I don't think this will be a problem for our scene since the dialogue is like halfway in the middle of the scene. You guys are the best cat. All right, so now you can no longer dig watered tiles. Prevent digging up water. You could use your shovel on a watered tile and turn it into regular dirt. This is now not a problem. And the code change is probably pretty straightforward. Yep. Cool, cool, cool. What if I don't like where I put the water? Then you should use your sponge tool. All right, so let's talk about the dialogue, the rest of this, the actual text, I mean, the libretto of the game. All right, so well, didn't your grandpa give you this farm? Yes, no, what is going on? The yes and no stuff I think is fine. I'm not actually sure about this part now. So do you need any help getting started? I think tell me in detail is funny, and I think we should keep it as an option. I don't think many players will choose that. A hilarious post about how you wish you could dig up water. You could link to this VOD, be like, here's the dev maliciously taking it out of the game. He knew we would want this. He removed it. Abby. She's got a GR at the beginning of her name. She gets grabby sometimes and like takes my hand and then just wants to lick it. Okay, so no matter what you choose, you only have such a big farm and will eventually try going in your house or to town. Going in your house before planting crops will tell you to plant crops. Going to town will say something else. What does it say? You need to harvest at least 3 crops first. Harvest. Oh, I see. Okay. So it'll say like, will tell you to go to sleep so that your crops can grow. It's hailing? I don't think it is right now for me. Yeah. You're far enough away apparently. Like a lot? Yeah. I hear some precipitation, but it doesn't sound like hard precipitation. We should take a video. It'll say you need to harvest at least 3 crops first. So wait for time to pass. Nothing is instructing you to go to bed. You have to go to bed at some point. This character would kind of tell you. Oh, we also have to add in the fake UI. I forgot about that. Day counter, etc. So all you need to do is plant some crops. You have an energy meter. You have a health meter. Maybe your energy meter doesn't actually do anything. That way you can play this for as long as you want, but you can still deplete it. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. We should probably do that. The energy meter should deplete as expected, but you shouldn't ever be penalized for not having energy. Maybe your character just moves slower. I don't know. You make one specific line dialogue really long. Like if you answer in a specific way, you keep chatting for like 10 minutes. No, it just adds localization burden. So if I think people are gonna not use an option, I probably won't put a ton of time into that option. And even this, I'm kind of debating on. Like, if you said, if yes, tell me in detail. So sure thing, to sleep, go into your house and face the bed, tuck yourself in using the blanket, and you'll be dreaming in no time. Or perhaps you want to know how to eat, grab a plate, load it up with food, then bite into it. Enough bites and you'll be full. I love this idea. Like, you ask for it to tell you in detail, and it's like really like here's how you sleep, here's how you eat, here's how you whatever else. And like there's chances to bail out. I'll pay you to leave me alone. Food recovers stamina, but be careful. Too much stamina and you'll run uncontrollably. Yeah, like okay, I definitely want to include this. I think this is funny. I think most people will not look at this dialogue, so I should stop after some amount of time. Interested in learning more? Tell me about farming. Plant a seed and water it. I think we just stop here, though. That's enough. Or no, I think tell me about stamina is fine. But I think here we say that's enough. The only thing we don't teach you about is farming. I think that would be very funny. Oh my god. Okay, so if that's enough, skip past Yeesh down below. And if I'll pay you to leave me alone, yeah. No, the only thing we never teach you about is the actual farming. It's so stupid. It's like trying to go into your house is gonna teach you this. I wish he told me anything about farming though as he's leaving. Yeah, maybe your character could say, I wish he had told me how to farm. If you stand around doing nothing for too long. Or maybe if you try going into your house first. Yeah. All right, so now let's codify this. Farming yarn. All right, so where we leave off. So yes, tell me in detail is here. And that should jump to detail. And gist of it should jump to, wait, what should that jump to? Oh, this is the farming bit. I kind of want to shorten this quite a lot. Use your inventory to till land, plant crops, and water the crops. Make sure to plant at least 3 crops your first day. Hope to see you again soon. Maybe we say something like spruce up. Like maybe just you have tools. You're already holding some tools. Try using them to see what they do. You're already holding some items. Yeah. Hang on a second. Abby's like wailing. Abby. Hi. Well, you okay? I think she's just hungry. What time is it? 4:08. Okay, yeah. I've been streaming for a little longer than I thought. Well, I do kind of want to at least do this. Yeah, I wonder when the next ad is going to run. It's probably going to be like 10 minutes. I should probably wrap up. Yeah, I should probably wrap up. Okay, well, I mentioned this before, but the plan for tomorrow is just a morning stream and just music the whole time. There'll probably be some piano improv followed by some like DAW creation. Creation in quotes because I might just be struggling. And then Friday, I'm going to be on the Twitch front page. And well, it'll be some combination of like Stuck in a Broken Tutorial and Skeleseller. But yeah, I streamed for like 7 hours today, so I should probably get going. We made some good progress. Actually, let me fill out the journal. Spent the afternoon fleshing out the farming game a little bit more. Mostly the cutscene. Is that really all I did? Why does it feel like... I mean, it was 3 hours, but... $15.39. So why did Tutorial Man take so long? I don't know. All right. Small improvements. Okay, let's go find someone to raid. I probably got to raid and run. I just heard Abby knock something over. This cat, I swear. Okay, she's like really going to town on whatever she knocked down. I gotta go. Yeah, here, raid airs. If someone doesn't mind telling her that I said hi and that I really had to leave, I've got to bolt. Bye, everybody. Take care. See you tomorrow.